So why did the tomato blush? It's because it saw salad dressing.
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning coffee. Well, let's see. It is Monday, November 17th, 2025. It is 4:51 a.m. I've actually been in here since 3, but been kind of collecting my thoughts this morning. It was a great weekend. I know, I started with dad humor. That was so bad. But that was actually a joke from my grandson Sam, so he he made me laugh. He made his Grammy roll her eyes. And that was quite the experience. We took a trip south for about an hour up into the mountains and went to a baptism over the weekend for my grandson Griffin, which is awesome, and then had his birthday party. So that was fun. And it's just made me think so much about you and about readers, kids, the future. And it's funny because that's kind of what's been on my mind this whole past week, is the past and the future. Not really the present, which is odd. But, it's like everything was connected this week. I kept thinking about what are the things that have just been ingrained, my fondest memories, things that just make my heart beat faster, or that make me reflect during a day, or calms my nerves. Things that when you think about them, maybe you miss them. Maybe you yearn for something that you've experienced and you want to go back there. I the most memorable experience that I had was meeting my wife, more than any other experience in my life. I love that woman. And to this day, she can smile at me in just the right way that I still get butterflies in my stomach. There's nothing else like it. And I tell people, they find this silly, but her laughter is my favorite sound. Absolutely my favorite sound. And my second favorite sound is a baby laughing. So kind of let you know how where I put my wife in this. Anyway, that's my favorite memory of walking into a chapel after everybody has had prayer, opening prayer, and here's this sea of strangers, never been in this church before. We just moved into the neighborhood. And I see my wife, my future wife. I remember looking at her and going, oh yeah, she's mine. It just, nothing else mattered after that point. And we were engaged within 10 days. I just knew. And funny thing is that the second strongest memory that I have is I remember standing, it's in California in El Dorado Hills. It was a place called Sam's. I think it was called Sam's. Anyway, it was up in the mountains. It's about 25 minutes or so away from Lake Tahoe. And my father, I think I was 12 or 13 years old. And my dad traveled a lot. And when he'd come home, he'd take my mom out on dates, but he'd come home and take us older kids. He'd go spend an afternoon and we'd go get pizza and we'd just dominate the arcade. My dad would play video games with us, which was so much fun. And I remember standing next to him. There was a game that had just come out, and I will attach a video so you know if you've never heard of it. If you're close to my age and you've played video games when you were a kid, you'll probably recognize this video game. But I remember standing next to my dad as he was the first person in our area. And he was an adult, not a kid, but an adult who beat Dragon's Lair, the video game. That was like my first kid moment that I'm like, that's my dad. Oh. And that just got me thinking about memories, things that are important to me, things that I recall because my father is my real life hero. I love my dad. I got to see him over the weekend too. He was at the baptism. That was so nice. And he's coming for Thanksgiving. Him and Angie. That's fabulous. I'm so excited about that. But those memories that connect you to your kids, maybe can just connect you to an experience. Books. So many books. The book that I remember more than any, not necessarily for the book, but the experiences that I had around the book, was The Hobbit. My mother would read us kids The Hobbit once a year. And you get to spend that time with Mom. My mom was a great reader. So much fun. And she really instilled in me a love for stories. My dad could really tell the stories too. He doesn't admit it, but yeah, he's amazing. So I've been thinking about this week, thinking about you, thinking about the future. I'm convinced that 2026 is going to be the very best year for indie authors and for readers. If you hang out, if you're part of the community and you're just here for the stories, you're here for Wendell, for Chronicles of a Hero, it's going to get so much better. We're going to pick up the pace. Not like I've been slacking, but we're going to have so much fun. There's technology and opportunities and doors that are about to open in 2026. And if you're a writer, you need to be prepared. That's one of the reasons why we started JamieBuckley.com. And we started JamieBuckley.com because it's just a spare it's just a spare domain name that I had that I wasn't using on anything else anymore. So we started another Substack. But this is a community for writers. Something I never wanted to do and then realized I need to do that because I have this crazy set of experiences that are real life experiences that I think would help writers. And I've made friendships on Substack that are substantial. And so I've been gathering friends together so that we can build a strong writer community to support each other and have fun with each other. There's so much talent that's out there in the world, not just on Substack, but in the world, that isn't found yet, isn't getting heard. And we'd like to help change that. So that's what we're doing. One of the things that's really important for this next year, and why we started Nothing About This Is Safe, the podcast, is to take how can I put this? To take the top challenges that writers face and put a twist on those challenges and then solve them together for the listener. We've wanted to place solutions in your hands. And I'm bringing this up because there's a special, I don't know how many we're going to do. We've done one, and we're going to do another one tomorrow morning. But if you don't know Alicia McCullough, you should. You really, really should. And she has joined our community, by the way. Welcome, Alicia. She's joined this community, Life of Fiction. Her and a very beloved friend of mine, Lene Lewis. So welcome, you two, to Life of Fiction. But Alicia has quite the history and quite the talent and an incredible perspective about AI. Now, I know that there's so many views and arguments, and I don't participate in those. I have questions. You've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again, and that is, I'm not against AI. I still, to this day, I still don't know quite what I think about it. And I say that because at first I was just terrified. Probably because of all the fighting going on, and I didn't have any answers. And so I started asking questions. I asked questions of my kids that used it, my sons who professionally use AI for work. I have had experiences with a certain kind of AI with music, as you know, because I've written music lyrics. And then my son showed me how to put music to it. I'm not a musician. And all of a sudden we are able to bring Gear Girls to life, which are part of Chronicles of a Hero. And now there are experiences you can have to, I don't know how to put this, because I always talk as if my characters are alive, because in my mind they are alive. Hoban's one of my best buddies. He helps me write a lot of things. Wendell, Chuck, and Dax. I mean, Chuck and Dax, oh my goodness, and Hoban. We've been, in the comment section of blogs since like 2007, 2008. You can find our comments all over the internet. But there are things that, if you are a writer, you need to know immediately. The window is closing, my friends. And that is the way search will be done in the future. And it's already happening, by the way. It's well underway. But the window for us as authors to make sure that our work and ourselves are indexed properly by the new librarians on the internet, which are AIs, needs to be done in a specific way, in a specific order. And Alicia has discovered what that is. And she's been teaching people. She's been helping people left and right to prepare so that you are found in the new creative future. So I did an interview last Tuesday and doing another one tomorrow morning. And these will be put out as a special. I don't want to put them in the order of how I've been doing this podcast because you need this information immediately. And I will let you know that she has it's a PDF. I think she's charging $7 for it. I've used it, and I'm telling you right now, it works. It's phenomenal. I will put a link. I haven't thought about that. I will put a link in the notes this morning. But go check this out because it works. And you can list your works, your bio, so you can get found when people are looking for specific things. Genres, specific books, you as an individual. You won't need Google. People will be asking AI about books like the ones that you write, or asking about you, and it will be able to give them accurate and complete information if you do this right. But the window's closing, and if you don't index and create that information yourself, someone or something else is going to do it for you, and there's no guarantee that it will be accurate. That's just the truth, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one bit what you think about AI, whether you're for it or against it. Doesn't matter. It's here, and it's going to happen regardless of how you feel about it. So now the question is, are you going to cheat yourself? That's up to you. But I've done this interview with Alicia, and I'll be doing another one. And so make sure you check out Nothing About This Is Safe, the podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on is it iTunes or Apple Podcasts? And and make sure that you give us a review on that if you like that. We've only done 2 episodes so far. Next one goes out tomorrow morning. But we've only done 2 episodes, and we already have readers in I don't know how many countries now. It just exploded. That's cool. But that means that we're doing something right. We are striving to answer the most important questions that I could find. 100 questions. 100. So we've at least got 100 shows. And I've done several that had nothing to do with any of the questions on my list. But they were the most asked questions over the last 2 years by writers, 24 and 25. And I think you might enjoy it. Completely kickback and full length or long form conversations with other writers that have blood on their pages, and we have experience, and so we're bringing it to you so that you know the truth. There's so much information that you can glean from these conversations, and that's the intent. What else is going on? Well, tomorrow is another Fiction Cartel. It's the last one of the year, in fact. So you might want to join us on that specifically because, well, you know, we definitely want to give you our absolute best. So we're going to be talking. What are we going to be talking about? Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking this up right now as we speak. We are going to be talking about finding your voice versus writing for an audience. Yeah, it's tomorrow at, 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So I hope that you'll come and join us for that live. Who are all the authors that will be showing up? I don't know. The closer you come to the holiday season, it's really hard to get everybody in the same room. So we'll do the best that we can. But I know there's going to be at least 3 to 4 of us there. So come and join us. The button to join the cartel session is right there in the notes. Let's see. What else do we want to bring up today? Had some fun moments with my grandkids. We've got Sam and Charlie decided to show me one of their brotherly handshakes. Check this out. That was a lot of fun, and it was just nice visiting with family. it just made me think about, wow, the past. My wife and I we've raised 13 children, or we're still raising the last few, but it just makes me think of family, makes me think of relationships, and how grateful I am for you that you've allowed me to entertain you and to bring you stories. It's incredible, but it's also growing. I've been thinking about, with parenting and family, and seeing so much of how my wife and I raised our kids, and then seeing my growing tribe of grandchildren and seeing their developing personalities, and I'm thinking, that is so my kids. I mean, I could see the Buckley in a lot of my grandchildren. And it's the values that we try to instill in our children. I'm not trying to make this heavy. I'm trying to say there's a lot of goodness in focusing on instilling your values. And I know I've brought this up before, but part of the purpose of the stories that I write is not to impose my values upon you, but more to draw out and help you figure out who you are, so that you know that you are more than you think you are, that you become the very best version of you that you can possibly be, whatever that is. That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. And for me to cheer you on and say, yes, go get that. Go be that. Be consistently you. You is awesome. That's the point of all of my stories. That's the point of all of my efforts. So, have you thought about the future? Have you really thought about what you might miss if you don't prepare? There's still a little bit of time. You can go into 2026 winging it, and chances are if you do that, you're going to lose out on an awful lot. But what if you have a plan? Even a minimal plan. A list, things that you're going to follow, things that you're going to do. Have you listened to Scoot lately? Scoot has a plan. He knows exactly what he's going to do next year. I know exactly what I'm going to do next year. I'm pretty sure Delana Marr and Anne Tell Me a Mystery that they know what they're going to do next year. We all have plans. We all have lists. And that's going to make a world of difference. Things are going to change. The whole world is going to change in dramatic ways in 2026. I believe. Do I have a proof? Have any proof? No, I don't. It's just a gut feeling. But that's how I've gotten this far, is trusting that feeling. And something tells me some big shifts are going to happen. I believe we're going to have fun. A lot of fun. So my focus, my intent next year is to have as much fun as I possibly can with as many writers as I can to entertain you as best I can. That's my focus for 2026. And I'm looking forward to it. Last thing, and I think it's an important thing, and that is Wednesday morning. Oh my goodness. So Anne, Tell Me a Mystery, she did, one of the things we're doing over at jamiebuckley.com is I'm making rooms for my friends. So the Go Brunch, what we do, like the Fiction Cartel, you can come in there and join live when we're on the cameras and we're recording our little tiny circles on there and having conversations. Well, we made a room for Anne so that she could do writing sprints. And she does that on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I never liked writing sprints, and yet I had so much fun. I hung out and got some writing done, and that was a blast. And I'm so glad Anne just volunteered and said I'd like to do writing sprints and help people. That was so much fun. We had quite a few people show up. That was nice. So that and it will always be the same address, so that you can go to that room and you can bookmark it But that button is also in the show notes. So that'll happen this Wednesday as well. So come join us. I'm going to be in there. I love doing that. So that's about it. I just have been thinking about the past and grateful for the present and planning for the future. All in one. Kind of sounds like Chuck. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. And remember, you are more than you think you are. And we will see you very, very soon.